get over there.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. All right, Mr. Bartlett. Here. Mrs. Brown Knight. Here. Mrs. Gelbaugh.
Here.
Dr. Lewis. Here. Mrs. Rankin.
Rear.
Rear? Mr. York.
Here.
All right. All right, any questions on the minutes? And I believe we have two, or is it three sets of minutes?
Three.
Three. We have three sets of minutes. The emergency meeting, the capital improvement meeting, and of course, last December the 19th. Any questions? No?
I have just one question.
Sure, sure.
On the, for the capital improvements, Jody, you had put down here, the infrastructure requested 40,000, but we didn't agree to that, right? 40,000 for the parking lot, for the school and
Oh,
church?
for that school parking lot?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that wasn't correct?
I just went off of what his budget said.
Okay. But that was not one that.
Well, it's just listed here as a request. I don't know whether we actually,
All right,
I'm not sure I actually,
but the rest of them that are listed were, in that paragraph, were all approved.
yeah,
Okay.
I believe so. All right, a motion and a second, please.
So move.
Second.
Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Mrs. Brown Knight? Ms. Gelbaugh?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis? Mrs. Rankin?
Aye.
Mr. York?
Aye.
All right, we'll accept those minutes. All right, in communications, we have Police Chief, starting with Police Chief Hines' monthly report. Chief, do you have any comments? Anything to say?
Yeah, I do, but first, anybody got any questions? On the last page, there was a letter there from the Regional Underwear Search and Recovery Team, the Hamilton County Police Association team, and Detective Rennie's on that team, has been for several years. That the work that they did there with the group out of the Living Lands and Water Group was amazing. They pulled a vehicle out of the river that was involved in a case that was years old out of Delhi, and is really impressive. So I just, the team and Detective Rennie and the rest of the people on the team did a great job there. So I just wanted to bring that up. You guys read the letter, I'm sure, but and then the other thing, this Thursday night, Officer Geraci, which we awarded a few months ago with a Valor Award here in council, he was selected, he and Officer Kaminsky, who was a Fairfax officer at the time, who is an Evendale police officer now. They are getting the Award of Valor from the Hamilton County Police Association at the awards banquet on Thursday night at the Montgomery Inn. This is a very prestigious award. There was a number of nominations from a number of police departments, including Cincinnati Police, other members from other police departments in Hamilton County. And Officer Geraci and Officer Kaminsky were unanimous choices for the Award of Valor for 2022. So very proud of that, and like I said, he'll receive that Thursday night at the awards banquet. So.
I, by the way, will be attending.
Good, thank you.
All right. Anything else? Any questions regarding the report itself? No? All right. All right, moving on to the Assistant Fire Chief Dan Copeland's report. It's kind of short this time. There's a nice little thank you note there on the back you can see. Apparently what did he go over there with something, Chief? Did he take one of the trucks over, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you should have seen James. He was beside himself.
I bet.
Beside himself.
Both the police and the fire were involved in that.
Yeah.
We do a lot of that whenever people requested, we're very happy to do
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
for, you know, birthday parties, special events for people here in the village.
It's very nice, very nice. All right, assuming there's no questions, additional questions, if you do, Mr. Copeland, of course, is available, anytime if you have a question. If you can't get me, you can call him. All right, Service Department, and Mr. Scherpenberg, do we have comments to make?
I have a question.
You have a question?
On the list of miscellaneous work,
Yes?
the sixth one down said, village started cleaning sewers. What does that mean? Like cleaning out at the drain, or what?
Lift the lid up, made all the gunk out down below.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about storm drains, though?
Storm drain,
Yeah,
yes.
not sanitary sewers, storm drains.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So we put an attachment on one of the leaf packs to help you get down there some of the stuff.
Okay.
But if you
They
get in
didn't
the
pick it up
grid,
in the microphone.
then it's
John's
all-
Yeah, it's supposed to go to somebody.
Getting the leaves in there.
It's most of it out, but we can't.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. All right, I also want to sort of give a little bit of a shout out and a thank you to John and the crew for handling the snow removal during the little bit of the blizzard
What
that
is the
came
word
up.
for
The blizzard
that?
that came up out of
That
nowhere, it
is
seemed like.
bizarre.
Yeah, so good job on that.
Yes, thank you.
Really good job. Almost all the residents had very positive things to say.
Almost.
Our roads were a lot
Almost.
better than City of Cincinnati and Fairfax.
I called in, it was so
Well, no, you did a very good job. I happened to be out of town, and I think I talked with Kevin. I called him long distance, and everything was, well in hand, so.
We haven't budgeted for any more snow
Yeah, we
removal, so.
Still do if you do it.
All right, from Tax Administrator, Mr. Barlow. Y'all had a chance to look it over, kind of lengthy report this time. Chuck, do you have anything to add, anything to say?
We were running well all year long in the fourth quarter, so
Oh, yeah,
good.
I'm gonna get this.
The year was running really well, first three quarters, as everybody knows, and unfortunately, the fourth quarter, it just dried up. If you look at it, though, I think it's on the second page, actually, individual collections were up, withholding was up, but the problem was we were down about 2.1% in net profits. Some of that is, that's businesses, yeah, the return. So some of them, it's all business, not just calendar, but also fiscal year, so it kind of trickles in. There was a big payment we got last year in December that we didn't get this year. So I'm hoping that's gonna come this month. It may just be a matter of timing for estimated payments. So that was that's why it's 54,000 for December. But we're close. It was,
So that's, because I was wondering if, and this is a really helpful report, so thank you for putting it out there. On the business side, I know you have to be very careful about what you say also. I don't know if there's anything about, like, our overall business profits down, because I know wages are up and all these other kind of things.
that
Or
could be
is there
part of
any-
it. I'm wondering if, I know there was some question, I don't know if it's been answered yet or not, if some of these, the PPP loans that came out, whether they're gonna be taxed or not. So I think a lot of net profits are waiting before they file, extension-wise, to see if, okay, yeah, we've gotta pay taxes on that or we don't. So I think we'll see, I feel like it's a timing issue, so I think we're gonna see it come back here as they come in after their extensions, so.
Okay.
But again, the big thing I can point to was estimated payments in December that didn't come, that I'm assuming will come. They're not due till January 15th anyway, so they may have just paid early last year. Whereas this year, well, I think where the interest rates were also, maybe last year it didn't matter, but this year with the interest rates where they are, we'll hold on to that money for another month, so.
How, this is a silly question, but how do we account for, revenue that was due in 22 that comes in January? Is it accounted at the end of the day in December financials, or is it accounted in January?
No, it'll be in January. It rolls
Okay.
over. That's one of the reports will show you the tax years.
Okay.
It'll go back, because
So even
we
if
still
it's a-
get some payments from people that are on payment plans from, 2017, 2018. So it's that tax year, but our revenue's not realized until
Gotcha, so
Current
it's,
year.
it's when it comes in, not
Yes.
when it's accrued. Okay,
Right.
thank you. I wasn't sure how that worked.
Yeah, the village's whole financials are on a cash basis, not on GAAP
Thank
or
you.
anything else like that, so.
Thank you.
Didn't we have some unusually high refunds too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the refunds this year were, what, 110, I think?
Yeah, it was, it
And
seemed like it was a
about-
really big number.
Is that for businesses, or is it, or are you allowed to say?
Thinking how far I can go. It was for previous years, that this return paid 100% on everything, but they had paid taxes at other municipalities. So they were able to come back and they provided everything I asked for. It actually, that ball had started rolling with Deanna, because she had noticed the same thing, like, and it came back, so.
Yeah.
So that won't happen this year. They are now realized that, hey, they have to portion out, so. But yeah, that's why it was, I think, almost triple, I believe.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
big.
Yeah,
So how does does it impact us this year that, so if somebody works remotely
Mhm.
and I don't know how the law reads, and it's over 50% in, let's say they're in Mariemont and they no longer commute downtown,
Mhm.
then Mariemont can collect those taxes? Is that how that works? Do you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's, in Ohio, it's where you work first, and then if there's anything left over, well, I'll tell you about my taxes, I can speak about my own. I work here in Mariemont.
Yeah.
So I paid my 1.25%
Yeah.
is withheld here. I live in Reading, it's 2%, so I get credit for 1.25, but I have to pay them,
Right.
and it gets withheld, Joni, for me, the 0.75
Sure.
to
Okay.
Reading.
What about remote, though?
Remotes,
Work from home.
it's the work from home, it's 100% here, this is their workplace,
Okay.
this is their office.
Have we
Yeah.
have we gotten benefited at all from that?
A little bit, yeah. I can't tell you
How
a
much?
dollar figure. I can tell you this past, well, I get here at the end of February, I've averaged about 3 or 4 new withholding accounts a week for, hey, we've got an individual working
Okay.
from home. And I will say we're insulated a little bit because we don't have big, huge office complexes, because
Right.
in 2020, when Governor DeWine signed the emergency, even though people were working from home, their withholding went to the city where their office
Right.
was, and there were to be no refunds.
Right.
Well,
They
in
changed it.
2021, it became, you were gonna refund. For 2020, there was litigation that just got finished up here about 2 months ago, that, yeah, 2020 is gonna need to be refunded. I don't know what that means for it. We don't have that big of a base where, we have an office building with 1,000 people,
Yeah, I
so.
would think we'd benefit from that.
We are, yeah, I think we have, yeah.
Okay, and
So,
Cincinnati will hurt. from
Cincinnati
that.
hurt in a lot of these cities, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so we might get, gotcha, thank you. So we don't fully know what that impact is at this juncture, understandably, but,
No, but I would say it attests to why the withholding was up, what, about I'm not sure what the percentage was on there. 1%, a little bit, 1 point something percent, but yeah, that's why that and also it accounts for individual as well, because of folks that paying estimated. So,
Anything else? We good? Thanks, Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Chuck. All right, moving on. All right, just for clarification, we have the Alloy development proposal. Now, I thought we sort of discussed this before, but like I said, just for clarification, this proposal, the Ohio plan,
I think Randy's thing too, Randy's one about the,
Oh, the government strategies group.
the
Yep,
government
yep, yep.
strategy group envisions possibly someone from Xavier. All of these proposals and plans are gonna go into Marcy's subcommittee and will be evaluated as to, what works best for the village, so on and so forth. And it'll be a regular committee meeting. A report will be generated, it'll go up before council and can be debated further at that point. I mean, that's how we're gonna be handling it.
one, I totally agree with what you're saying. The one thing I want to clarify, because Ohio Plan had 5 different things they proposed on. I think it's really just the land use plan.
Right. We can
economic
separate
development
that
land
out
use.
because
Yeah,
he did
just take that
segment
out.
it. He did
Yeah.
segment it, yeah.
So I was thinking, so can we add back into the finance subcommittee the rest of the Ohio Plan stuff besides the land use, which is gonna be in Marcy's?
Well, no, because economic development would be in mine.
No, that's in there. Economic development is the land use plan. Because if you remember, the other components were things like, well, what's the 10-year forecast for expenses and infrastructure analysis and all those other kind of things. So it's not, all the other pieces were non-economic development related.
I've already done extensive research talking to some professionals about each piece of that plan.
About the Ohio plan?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the other components are not economic development. I mean, I know Randy and Kelly, you guys went through that as well. What do you guys think?
Well, we just have to, it seems like we've got two committees working on parallel paths, and parallel paths never intersect. So to me, it's if it goes in this committee, I just want it in, I think there's a lot of moving parts.
There's a lot of moving parts.
And we need to put it together into some comprehensive plan. How we do that, and, you know, if it's in Marcy's committee, that's fine. But I'm not sure where it should be.
Well, I think we need to get more information from each of these different groups to make that determination. I mean, we know what Ohio Plan can do. We really haven't got a huge idea on what Envision can do. Because, you know, like, there are a lot of moving parts, and there's aspects of it that are economic development, and there are aspects of it that are strategic plans. Well, we don't have a lot of information from Alloy yet. Ohio Plan's pretty much where we've gotten the most information. But I know we've got conversations started with Alloy, or will be. Envision, we've had a pretty good conversation with them. I don't know.
Which, by the way, they did segment down their proposal as well, strictly for economic development. So,
Okay.
I mean, there are other aspects that he would address that would parallel some of what the Ohio Plan did. And also, just let me mention too, we're setting a meet with Ready Cincinnati, and that is also going to be in the mix.
Oh, good.
So,
Right, but
We have a
until
lot
we
to look
have
at
all
here.
that, I mean, I don't know if we really know where to park stuff
Yeah.
until we
I
actually
think it
talk
makes
to
sense to
them.
put them all in the same people, because we're gonna be comparing them. You know, I mean, and
Yeah,
I've
I-
already
no,
done,
I'm not saying
and I've already
don't,
done
I'm
some
just-
analysis, you know, I did some work before Christmas, calling up just different individuals in the community and getting their thoughts on the value of some of the pieces of each of these plans.
you know, this is just a suggestion, to avoid sort of overload, because you know my feelings on this, Rob. I really still want to bear down on this economic development stuff. And I really want the full attention of the other committee members. I want them thinking about that. I want them engaged in this. Why don't we get through a meeting or two with this stuff and come back to your suggestion?
That's fine, because again, I totally agree that all the economic development stuff should be
Yeah.
I mean,
in
that
that
really
group.
should be the spear of what we're.
Yeah, and that's
To-
kind of
Totally
what
agree
I'm
with that.
saying.
And again, there's
Yeah.
other parts of Ohio Plan that were not economic development related, that were more strategic plan related, like Kelly was saying.
Yeah.
But I'm fine if we want to put it on hold for now
Okay,
while you
yeah.
guys do that, that's fine.
Okay.
But it feels like the other four pieces would make more sense.
Yeah.
Because the other group is doing the strategic plan
Right,
stuff,
right.
not the economic development, so.
Okay, okay.
And that's why we had Kelly and Randy on both groups, was to make sure that we weren't crossing wires
Yeah,
there type of
yeah,
thing.
Okay, well, let's just leave
That's
it
fine.
at that for the time being, yeah,
Okay.
because,
Susan, do you have any idea when you're gonna hear back from Xavier? I mean, I've heard,
Yeah.
well, I know, but this month, I mean, I need to set a meeting.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
I heard 1st of January, and now it's this month, so
You heard 1st of January? I apologize.
that's what I thought.
Okay, so not, this is under too much information, but, so she left Xavier January 6th to start her own economic and community planning consulting firm.
Okay.
So she was saying, after that, I will develop the proposal and get it to you in January. I can get the exact date, but so I know that I'll give her a call and get the exact date, and then I'll text it to you.
Okay, yeah.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, the sooner the better. just
Yeah,
because
I
all
apologize.
well, no, all these other people are waiting, you know, so I just,
Gotcha.
and I want to
if it's,
set my meeting.
if it's helpful, we're not having the meeting with Ready Cincinnati until February the 8th.
Well, she said January. I mean,
Okay.
I don't.
Does
think it's-
does her new company have a name that she's going by, or?
No, I don't know. So it's Liz Bloom, and she was a former Cincinnati city planner, and then she did all of the planning for, most people know her. And then she did the community development department for Xavier, and I believe I'm maybe misspeaking, but I believe they eliminated that department, and then she was gonna create her own company, so I don't know all the details.
Well, it sounds like she's got some knowledge that we could.
Yeah, she's very, very well respected in this area, yeah,
Okay.
So anyway, that said, I have her phone. I'll give her a call. I think that's a reasonable request from Marcy. I apologize if
Oh,
I.
no, it's fine. I just want to
Communicated
make sure so I can set my meetings and be on top of it.
Yeah, okay.
So,
So
if I
February
may,
8th, so you'll have everything
Okay.
by February 8th, it sounds like, but she said January. So-
Okay, okay. I'm just throwing that out there, just as, so that you have a reference as to what we're kind of shooting for.
Yeah.
That's all.
but the big idea is the strategic plan. That's what we're working for.
Well, no,
Now-
the-
now,
depends on what you-
Economic development's a component of that.
Yes.
Yeah, but I.
But the focus,
It's gonna be,
Well,
yeah, it's gonna
clearly
be
we
the.
agree, but,
yeah.
but I thought that when we went out on this, we were gonna have a third party to help us put together this strategic plan,
And-
clearly with a focus on economic development.
Yeah, yeah. And was what I was trying to say to Rob, we will be working our way back around to the broader aspects of the strategic plan. It's just that I feel right now the thrust has to be on economic development.
I agree, I
I
think
mean,
everyone agrees.
I just feel like we've got to get something going here.
Agree.
Okay.
yeah, I think we're all on the same page there.
Yeah, okay. I'm not saying, just so we're clear, we're getting back to it. I didn't mean like, we're abandoning the notion. No. Okay. All right, so with that said, one last thing, this being our first meeting of the year, of course, I do want to welcome everybody back. I hope Santa Claus was good to everyone, in whatever, way that means for y'all. I do want to make a little comment here, though, this being the first meeting, and the way we kind of conduct the meetings. I would like for us to sort of, get back to when we have permission to address council, as an example, we've got to get back to being a little bit more strict on the 3 minutes. We must have whoever speaks must come to the podium, identify themselves, and speak into the microphone. Otherwise, Joni can't, really get it. And I'm really going to put well, I don't want to say it that way, but tonight there's no one really here. But when there are a lot of people here, the crosstalk in the gallery has got to stop. It's disruptive, it's hard to pay attention, so on and so forth. And then my final request to all council people is, let's please make an effort to not talk over one another. I know everybody wishes to talk and everybody's got something important to say, but we do occasionally get a little interrupty with one another. And it gets very hard for her to sort it all out. So I know that it's gonna last all of about 2 more meetings and I'll bring it up again. But other than that, those are my remarks about that. Yeah, see, right, I love that. Yeah. Okay, you're taking me seriously, I like that. Yeah. All right, permission to address council. Apparently, we have a rather sparse meeting tonight, so we will not have anybody getting up. All right, I guess we're going to, I didn't realize this was number 7 on the meeting here. We're going to have the nomination for the vice mayor.
I'd like to nominate Randy York.
Second,
Whoa, that was quick.
second.
And thank you for the opportunity. The village didn't tank.
Did a great job.
There wasn't a coup.
Where? Was it a coup?
And Bill doesn't have to worry about me being behind him on the stairs anymore.
Yeah, but Randy's bigger. It'd be easier for him.
Yeah,
But I'm meaner.
I haven't had a
I'll agree
vacation in
with
3
that.
I'll vouch
years.
for that.
Okay, so I have a nomination. Did
I
get it?
seconded.
I have a second. Pardon me, Mr. Bartlett.
No, are you gonna ask for any other nomination, just to be
Oh,
fair?
well,
I don't have one, but I just think you ought to just see it.
well, we've had a motion and a second. I don't know if,
We vote?
Nominate.
Are there any other
are there any
nominations?
other?
No.
If you want.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes it easy.
Let's get a real cat fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we can get the cage up right in here. All right, Mr. Bartlett,
Yes, aye.
Mrs. Brown Knight, Ms. Gelbaugh.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin.
Aye.
And our next vice mayor, Mr. York.
Thank you.
Yay!
Okay.
Go, Randy. Go,
Oh,
Randy.
God, suddenly I'm feeling a little,
All right, Bill?
Not today.
know.
Not today. Not today. Not today.
okay, yeah, I shouldn't joke about that. All right, motion to pay, well, any questions regarding the bills, please? I know, Rob, you had a question regarding the one auto accident and whether we were gonna collect insurance.
Allison did a
Did you
really-
get that answer?
Yeah, Allison did a great job of going and getting it.
Okay.
It sounds like we're stuck.
Yeah, we are. We just recently had another one, though, and I talked with the insurance company today, and that's well on track.
We'll be good on that.
Yeah, we'll be good on that one. No other questions regarding the bills? Then do I have a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Second? All right, Mr. Bartlett.
Aye.
Mrs. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Ms. Gelbaugh.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right. All right, so we don't have any committee reports this time. I don't know how that worked out. All right, well, I gotta do miscellaneous here first. Village offices will be closed Monday, January the 16th, in observance of Martin Luther King Day. Oh, well, you guys want to go ahead and do the appointment to the Planning Commission, the ARB now?
Yes.
Can we get that out of the way?
Sure. Do we nominate someone?
We're talking about, let's do Planning Commission first.
Okay.
Leah currently is the current committee or council representative on planning. I'm assuming, do you wish to stay on?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
All right, do I have
I'd
a?
like to nominate Leah,
Second.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Bartlett.
just to
Aye.
just to formalize it.
And just to formalize it, Mrs. Brown Knight,
Aye.
you can vote for yourself.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right, Leah, you're on.
Yay.
I'll let the other members know.
I'm sure there's going to be a party.
No, I'm not saying anything.
Don't go there.
Okay, no, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. We're all fine. We're all good. We're all good.
Nope.
All right, and Dr. Lewis is, of course, our current member on the ARB. Dr. Lewis, do you wish to remain on the ARB?
Yes, I would like to, we've got that whole review of the Historic District
Coming
Literature
up, yeah,
Semi-Committee.
we do have a lot of stuff
I'll be
kinda
working with
coming
Rod
up.
extensively on that, and then Matt and I are gonna actually try to work on some training materials to help people on the ARB along and kind of understand, you know, with education with our historic properties, and so that's kind of a big thing we've got going for 2023.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Matt Ayers, did I say that? He's gonna help me
You
out with
did.
that.
Yeah. Okay, so do we have a nomination?
I nominate Dr. Lewis for the ARB.
Second?
Second, Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight? Ms. Gelbaugh?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis? You can vote for yourself.
Can you?
No, I,
Well, why not?
no, it's a lot of work.
Mrs. Rankin?
Aye.
Mr. York?
Aye.
All right. You're on.
Rusty's in the club.
All right, the Outstanding Citizen of the, those nominations for Outstanding Citizen Award will be due March the 16th, so we do have some time here, a little thinking you can do on that. All right, and we have one resolution, it looks like the first reading.
Okay, to reappoint Leah Gelbaugh as a member of the Parks Advisory Board for the calendar years 2023 and 2024.
All right, that was your first reading. We'll have the second reading next meeting. One ordinance, looks like another first reading.
To delete section 150.18 of the Mariemont Code of Ordinances.
All right, first reading, we'll have the second reading at the next meeting. All right, we're not doing the task list, we're gonna do the committee reports. I'm just basically gonna throw that out there. Does anybody wish to make a comment as to where they are currently in there? Okay, Kelly?
There'll be a Public Works meeting tomorrow
Yes.
to discuss the mowing plan.
Oh, and by the way,
for-
let's get clear on the time. Is it 4 o'clock or is it 3:30?
Well, it's 3:30 to talk about the mowing, and at 4 o'clock, we're gonna talk about the street project.
Oh, okay, so
So we're talking about street
splitting it
projects.
up that way. Okay.
Was it 3:30?
Yeah.
Good, 3.
Okay. I do have one question for you, Leah, because I've been getting a couple of people asking me about this. Where are we on the deciding the park bench thing?
What do you mean exactly?
Oh,
What type?
What type or how many or?
No, I believe we're going to be changing types. We're not
Yes,
going to be
but
doing the
what
teak wood anymore.
Where they're not going to be teak. They are probably going to be a combination of a metal frame and a wood or composite
Composite.
slats.
Uh-huh.
But what I want to make sure is that the one that we choose is not going to be out of production anytime soon, because we're not going to be able to afford to replace 64 benches all at
Oh,
once.
sure, yeah.
So I want to make sure that it's going to be staying in production for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
If not longer.
Yeah.
Just to give us time, because I don't want to get to a point where we pick one, we start replacing some of them,
Oh,
and then all of a
can't-
sudden they're
can't
like,
get it.
oh, we're not making this one anymore. So
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that it's very simple design that looks good with the teak, that we can slowly change them out. So like I said, I just have to call and make sure with different production designers and stuff. And I was going to talk to John a little bit about it too. So we're going to go on a trip around the village and count them all and make sure they're pretty.
We have a lot of benches, we have more benches than you realize.
There's 64 of them.
64 benches.
So Leah, is it Martin Kepke's recommendation or
I
something else?
would like to get that one.
Okay.
It's a really nice bench.
Yeah, yeah. So okay.
Yeah, that's
No,
what
I
I'm
think it looks very
shooting
nice,
for.
too.
I
Oh,
just,
is
I
that-
just
is that
want to
what
make
we've
sure.
settled on?
Well-
No, but that is kind of what I want to look for, is something like, either get that one or something very similar
Do
to
do you
it.
have the contact? There's a woman who is,
It's in the packet, I believe. but
yeah,
I
so
still have it.
because there was I got an email from Matt Ayer like about 2 weeks ago or something like
Yeah.
that. And he was reaching out to the woman who provided the quote. So if you want, I can pass you on the name of that.
That'd be great,
Okay.
yeah.
That's good.
But, so that's the only holdup, is I just want to make sure that they're going to be in production for a while.
Okay, yeah, yeah, well, very good thought. All right, anybody else, do you want any other comments about where you currently are?
Randy?
Mr. Vice Mayor, do we
Randy.
want an update on?
Well, we're gonna get together on the pool, we're gonna
Yes.
review, we need to schedule that
Schedule it,
meeting.
yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
if you guys could look at your schedules and get back to me, because we need to get 3 Health and Rec Committee meetings here in the next 2 weeks, unfortunately. We've gotta set rates, we've got to make those recommendations as far as for the Centennial Park improvements, and set rates, and then the pool, how we're gonna, as far as the capital and
yeah.
all that.
And we need to update the ordinance and talk about whether we're going to allow people out in the
Correct.
school
Yep,
district.
yep.
So there's a lot for the pool stuff.
So I think I sent you guys a note of looking for dates, if you could
Yeah.
just get back to me. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry that there's so many in such a short period of time, but this is the time when we set all the rates and do that, so.
Do you want to, are you going to add tennis to that too? Because you should,
Yep, tennis is part of it. I've not reached out to that group yet. I wanted to get bids back or be able to communicate that, so I think at this point I'll go ahead and communicate to the Tennis Association.
so should we put something on your committee list though? About tennis, both the rates and the bid?
Sure. I did hear from South 80 about their rates, if that's, so it would be,
Gardens?
yeah,
Well, the plots, the garden plots.
set pool, tennis,
Lots.
recreational gardening rates for 2023.
Do we ever look at because Joni, do we charge for people renting some of the facilities? Like, I don't know if you use,
Yeah, we just
Should-
raised
Yeah.
them last year.
okay, okay.
You mean like for the shelter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Public
raised
It's
those.
still a fantastic
Yeah.
bargain,
Yeah.
I might add. So,
But you have to be a Mariemont resident.
yeah, you do. Yeah, you do, yes. Okay.
No, you
Bill,
don't.
I'll-
Did not think so either.
I don't think you
No,
have
because I knew somebody that, from Miami that rented it, so.
You can, you don't have to be a
She
resident.
may have misled.
I'm getting the sign here, but Chris, I know you showed up at the meeting. Did you have something you wish to add, or you're just here for a question?
No, he-
Yeah, okay.
Moral support.
Moral support, okay. All right.
Bill, I will tell you this, on the wooden poles for Duke Energy,
Oh, yeah,
I sent a
wooden
text
poles.
message, unfortunately, just today, I got the guy's cell phone number for the general counsel for Duke Energy. Sent him a text today, and actually, I was looking a second ago to see if he responded, but I remembered I left my phone in the car. So if he responded, I'll give you a call tomorrow, let you know where we're standing. I'm sure he's willing to help us as best he can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
But
okay.
what that means, I don't know.
Well, it's just one more avenue to go down with the stupid poles. I mean, we'll see where that goes, and then if that doesn't work, we'll do something else.
So is that where we're at, though, is pursuing with them legally? to get those taken out, or?
Well, I think what happened is we haven't had much success going through the normal chain of commands. I was hoping that getting somebody might be a little bit higher up, might have a little bit more juice over there with Duke Energy to get something done for us, and maybe get them and the phone company working together.
A
Hopefully.
little leverage.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he may tell me to go scratch, and if he does, he does, you know. At least we tried.
Tried,
Something.
burn it.
Hey, Bill, quick question for you. So, like, over at the corner of Mount Vernon and Center, Duke Energy had to come and dig up because there was a gas smell and stuff like that. Who follows up in terms of making sure they come back and remove that metal plate and then?
Oh, and patch the.
Yeah. Do we have somebody who's responsible for?
That is so unfortunate.
Chris is the one. Okay.
That is so unfortunate
Okay.
that that happened.
It happened on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay. No, it's Mount Vernon and Center Street. It's a big metal plate, you can't miss it. It's right at the stop sign, right at the stop sign at the eastern side of that.
Yeah, northeast corner.
Yeah, yeah. And then, second quick question is, well, not question, but the last time we met, we talked about formation of the inclusion committee. It sounds like we should add that on the task list or something, right? We haven't captured that anywhere, that we're gonna form that, so.
Well, we did, I know, as I said, I think I said that the last time. It does get brought up, it gets discussed, and that's it.
Right. But that's what I think, that's what we created the task list for, is to help capture and make sure that we follow up on those things. So it seems like we should be adding, and is that you who's gonna?
Well, that's where it gets a little messy.
Who's taking the laboring
Who's taking the lead on that, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. Whose name do we need to put next to it? I mean, that's,
I'll volunteer to be co-chair with Miss Brown Knight.
I'm drowning a little. I would like to do things well. That's my hesitancy. You have a lot on your plate. I am open to giving it a try, but I want to be very, very clear that this is a very challenging time for me.
but right now, we just need to form the committee first. If that's the first step. If the two of you wanted to work together with Bill, I don't care, you
Well,
know.
forming the committee is a very, very critical, like.
Come up with the right names, yeah.
That's important, that's some work.
Yeah,
So,
we should put Chuck on that, too.
so,
For the committee formation. You know, it's one of those things, I mean, Susan, look, I mean, you know, forming the committee,
input, you
getting
too?
that sort of up and running or whatever, determining what that's gonna be, and then we'll
What?
see how fast we can proceed.
Do you see
I don't
how all
want you
these
to feel like
sidebar
we're giving you the
conversations
bums
are already
rush,
taking
or-
place?
And we gotta have this, you know, something, you know, by March 1.
yeah, yes, I just like to do things well, and I am drowning a little, but
Okay.
Randy's very easy to work with, we'll give it a go.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody's easier. He used to be my top council person, now he's my vice mayor.
Climbing the ladder.
Even a letter,
So,
why
who
Joan,
am I
you just
putting-
add that to the
Who's
task
your new
list?
favorite?
I'm gonna add it, but
How quickly
I'm
they
still
forget.
unclear on who is it
who's
Mr. York?
So we're gonna, we'll get together and figure out who should be on it, which is pretty.
So put both their names, because it's just the
Yes.
formation of the committee.
Okay.
It's just those, that's all we're asking for at this stage.
Okay.
That's it.
Anybody else? We're adjourned.
Thank you.
Bulldogs.
I needed that today.
Bulldogs are next week.
2 weeks.
I like